About halfway to Dome 7, Enew's shuttle was flagged down by a Verton workman. He was told that there was work being done on the tunnel and there would be a few minutes delay. Kenom gave a look of frustration but nodded in the affirmative. While he was waiting, he couldn't help but notice that the Verton's left arm was inoperative. Finally, his curiosity got the best of him, and he asked the workman, whose number was 45, "I see your arm is down. Why don't you replace it?" The Verton looked at him for a moment and, realizing he was a high-level Zimmnellian, told him that he had been waiting for replacements, but there was none available at the moment. He went on to say that the reason that the tunnels are in such bad shape is that most of the workmen are disabled because of broken or damaged body parts. "You must be joking," says Kenom in amazement. "There are replacement electro parts in abundance over in Central Dome. I saw them myself. They are Z501 body parts, but they can easily be retrofitted to your K730s units, can they not?" "Sure," replied the workman. "We use old discarded Zimmnel body parts all the time. That is, when we can find them. We have a few men working over in the recycling center just to salvage discarded Zimmnel body parts. We are able to fix them up and reuse them most of the time, but they are never enough. The Deceptors manage to get most of the used bodies before we do. They pay good money for them." Kenom just looked at the Verton in amazement. He couldn't believe that what he was hearing. Finally he said, "Do they know about this over in Central Dome?" "I doubt it," he said. "There hasn't been a Zimmnellian over to the maintenance dome in over 12 war seasons. They just don't care about us. We are the forgotten people. No one cares about us Vertons here on Ob. We just work the tunnels and that's about it. If we don't work, the Flextons will shut us down by cutting off power to our dome, and we need it to recharge and keep our brains alive. The Flextoids are supposed to take care of us, but they spend all their wealth on parties and other luxuries. There's nothing we can do. We have no voice here in the dome." When the track work was finished and he was allowed to continue, Kenom tried to assure the Verton that he would do something to correct the situation. As he slowly pulled out, Kenom told 45 that he personally would talk to someone about this matter. After pondering the situation, Kenom decided he would make this tunnel problem his little project. He thought the experience of working with Vertons, the Flextons, and the Zimmnelian patrolmen to solve this problem would be a good way to hone his diplomatic skills. He really didn't think there was much of a problem. He thought it was more a lack of communication. With that in mind, he laid out a plan. First thing he planned to do was go over to the Verton's maintenance dome and see for himself if things were as bad as 45 said they were. He could not confront Flexmaster Lector in Dome 7 if he didn't know firsthand what needed to be done. The entrance tunnel to the maintenance dome was halfway between Mini Dome F and Patrol Dome 7. As he approached, he could see that there was a small guardhouse blocking the entrance. It was manned by a Flextoid sportsman. Kenom stopped his module and went over to the guard, who was reading a magazine. "Excuse me, my name is Patrolman Kenom," he said. "I would like access to the maintenance dome, please." The guard looked up from his magazine and said rather gruffly, "Do you have a pass?" "Well, no," replied Kenom. "Do I need a pass?" "You do if you want to go to the maintenance dome. No one gets past this point without a pass." Then, glancing over at the module Kenom was driving, he added, "Especially you mini-dome guys." Kenom was not amused by the treatment he was getting, but he controlled himself. Apparently these sports guys don't know the Zimmnellian lead rating system, he thought, because he didn't recognize his Leber's uniform, or perhaps he did, but didn't care. He asked where he could obtain a pass and was told to go to Dome 7. "And who do I see?" he inquired. "I don't know, ask around," was the curt reply from the sportsman as he went back to reading his magazine. Kenom said nothing. He got back into his module and took off for Patrol Dome 7. Patrol Dome 7 was occupied by Flexmaster Lector, but run by a sports Flecklord named Gleen, who was a sports fanatic. All the Flecklords and Fleckmen were large, low-level athletic types with more than a little arrogance in their walk. Like Flexmaster Tubo's lavishly decorated dome, Flexmaster Gleen's dome was painted in gray, so it looks very drab in comparison. The walls were covered with all sorts of sporting awards. As he entered, Kenom could see that they had been partying for some time, as they were all more or less in a drunken stupor. They had won almost every prize at the recent sport competition, so he assumed they were still celebrating. He walked to a desk where a big Flex Lord was sitting and asked, "I would like to get a pass to the maintenance dome. Who do I see?" The Lord scarcely acknowledged him and replied, "What for?" "That's no concern of yours," said Kenom, losing patience. "No one from the maintenance dome is allowed in the maintenance domes. No one from the mini-dome is allowed in the maintenance domes," was his short reply. "Is that a fact?" responded Kenom. "Yes, it is," answered the Flex Lord, with his eyes returning to the magazine he was holding. "May I use your voice transfer?" asked Kenom. The Flex Lord didn't look up. He just pushed the voice transfer in Kenom's direction. Kenom paused a moment, gathered himself, and picked up the voice transfer.